Gospel Church.
Hi, beloved Full Gospel Church.
Es un honor para mí compartir esta meditación
It's an honor for me to be able to share the word for today.
y el nombre es Ayúdame.
The title of today's message is Help Me.
Nosotros como humanos tenemos dentro de nosotros esa característica de tratar de hacer todas las cosas que podamos.
As human beings, we've got something within us that makes us want to do everything that we're able to do in our own strength.
Y siempre tratamos de recurrir a nuestros recursos humanos y a nuestra fuerza y a nuestra capacidad.
And we'll often go back to our own human abilities or our own strength to try and get the job done.
Y ya en el último término, cuando de plano no podemos,
And then sometimes we get to the point when we can't take it anymore.
y es ahí donde pedimos ayuda.
And at that point, that's when we then ask for help.
Y en nuestra naturaleza pedimos ayuda a las personas.
And as humans, we then ask the people around us for help.
Pedimos ayuda a los diferentes recursos que tenemos humanamente.
The different people who are around about us who can help.
Y a lo último nos acordamos que hay un Dios que ayuda.
And then finally, we remember that God can help us.
Y Él es el ayudador.
God is our helper.
Y la Biblia lo describe como el ayudador.
The Bible describes God as our helper.
Y quiero compartir esta meditación en 2 de Reyes 13, 1 al 5.
I'd like to share the word for today from 2 Kings chapter 13, verses 1 to 5. It says, In the 23rd year of Joash, son of Ahaziah, king of Judah, Jehoahaz, son of Jehu, became king of Israel in Samaria, and he reigned 17 years. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord by following the sins of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, which he had caused Israel to commit, and he did not turn away from them. So the Lord's anger burned against Israel, and for a long time he kept them under the power of Hazael, king of Aram, and Ben-Hadad, his son. Then Jehoahaz sought the Lord's favour, and the Lord listened to him, for he saw how severely the king of Aram was oppressing Israel. The Lord provided a deliverer for Israel, and they escaped from the power of Aram. So the Israelites lived in their own homes as they had before.
Dice la Biblia que el descendiente de Jehú,
The Bible here is speaking about a descendant of King Jehu.
Joacás,
His name Jehoahaz.
dice que por 17 años hizo lo malo ante los ojos de Dios.
The Bible says that for 17 years he did what was evil in the Lord's sight.
Gobernó la nación de Israel en su propia fuerza.
In other words, he led the nation of Israel in his own strength.
Gobernó su propia vida en su propia fuerza.
He led his own life in his own strength, doing what he wanted.
Y lo hizo mal.
And he did it badly.
Y la Biblia dice que esto resultó en opresión para los israelitas.
And the result of this was that the Israelites were oppressed by the enemy.
Imagínate 17 años haciendo las cosas a su manera.
Just imagine that, 17 years doing things your way.
Que no agradaban a Dios.
Things that didn't please God.
Y al final llega el punto en el que pasa una situación muy difícil para el pueblo de Israel.
And then at the end, they got to a situation when Israel went through a really difficult time.
Y dice el versículo 5 que él como rey dice que buscó al Dios de su padre.
And the Bible says that he, at that point, sought the God of his fathers.
Y la Biblia dice que pidió ayuda al Señor.
The Bible says that he asked the Lord for help.
Y el Señor dice que viendo la opresión que su pueblo sufría,
The Bible says that the Lord saw the oppression.
el Señor ayudó al rey a pesar de lo malo que él era.
And at that point, the Lord helped the king despite the fact that he'd been wicked before that.
Y liberó a su pueblo
And God set his people free.
y su pueblo volvió a vivir con paz, como en el pasado.
And his people entered into peace as they had been before.
Solo 2 puntos.
So there's just 2 points from that.
No importa que a lo mejor en el pasado nosotros no hayamos buscado a Dios.
Even if you've not sought God in the past, or even if you've not been seeking God,
Este es el tiempo en el cual podemos reconocer tenemos un Dios que ayuda.
it's time to remember that God now is our helper.
Y podemos ir a Él en oración.
And we can come to him in prayer.
y decirle simplemente, Señor, ayúdame.
And simply we can say, Lord, help me.
Y el segundo punto,
And the second point is this.
Dios, tenemos un Dios que ayuda porque Dios ve el sufrimiento y se compadece.
God is a God who helps because he sees people suffering and he is filled with compassion.
El Dios que es nuestro ayudador nos va a ayudar porque Él conoce nuestra condición.
God is our helper because he knows the condition that we find ourselves in.
Pídele a Dios ayuda
Ask God for help
porque tenemos un Dios que ve y se compadece.
because we have a God who sees and who's full of compassion.
Bendiciones.
Blessings, church. Bye.